I've heard the question. It's like, Tom, StacksAMilli, Thomas. My name's Thomas, Tom, Tommy, whatever. Stacks. How come you live in Canada when you could, if you wanted to, live in the US? You're a dual citizen under law. How come you don't fight for it? Well, I've already lived in the US when I was younger. And if I had any other place to live other than Canada, it would be the US, the United States of America. But I was born in Canada. I have family that comes from New Mexico or whatever through history. And I have my dad actually still resides in the US. But I like to I have entitlement in Canada that I claim, and that's what the reason why I live in Canada. It's not very much different than the US, but it is. It's a lot different. It's almost like I've compared it almost to like I live in sort of like Alaska. It's almost like Alaska or whatever, but I'm probably one of the most pro-American Canadians in the entire country of Canada. But I'll tell you, I'm still a Canadian. I'm in support of American livelihood. I'm in support of American business. So much so that some of my friends that are from America that I just so have taught or whatever, they've made way more money than me, and there is no jealousy at all. I mean, sometimes I try to make something out of it, like these ones, but I don't go too far either. It's like, and that's how it always was, and that's how I knew it was because I play my role. Because before it was like I played my role and I lived my dreams. I don't have to be the most successful person. I just want to be able to live sort of my dreams. And I never wanted to have to get up and get on a jet right now anyway. I hate airplanes. Like, and when I say I hate airplanes, I don't mean I hate airplanes. I don't hate airplanes. I love airplanes. I've flew on, I don't know, 6 or 7 airplanes, but I have no desire to fly right now. I just got no desire to fly right now. There's no need. I'm sort of just like in my own place, building my own thing. And I want it to last this time. I want to try to build up my defenses against any harm. And when I was younger, that was a hard thing to do. I guess that's called your credit. It's like who you are as a animal human being or something. I don't know. But I've been relatively good, and I think it's another 10 years to prove that. And then they'll know who I am or whatever, because we've already sat there and we've defended me and we've said who we are and we said who I was and we said what my demeanor is and they said what I and all that. So that was my defense for that moment or whatever. And we're not going through it again, really. I mean, we've said what we've said, or else that constitutes ultimate harassment. But now I see how it works. Once everybody sort of calms down, or myself even, I'm able to, you have to iterate on your statement or remake a statement or something like that. I guess that's how it works. It's like, oh, Tommy, you have the energy to make the response. Okay, so I understand that part of it as well. But I've got my defenses. I now have a legal 22, and that's deterred a lot. And I've hardly shot it. I got the 22 Diana Chaser, whatever. I keep it relatively safely stored. Just that one right there has kept me so safe. People that had guns or whatever that were trying to rob me years ago, they're thinking again now. And some of my people are like, Tommy, you needed that other one and you need the other one. But Tommy's saying, hey, this one cost me $250 plus the pellets. Like, I'm trying to buy this Sig Sauer to save my life, all right? It costs money, all right? It costs real money, all right? And it's like they don't get that. It's like they treat my money like it's fake money, all right? And it's not, all right? It's real money, okay? That I have to save up for. It's not a game, okay? This $219 is a lot of money to me. And then I have to, and then I got to, because I have to put up with a month now. Because after I buy this, I'm gonna have to put up with a month of starvation again, and people making fun of me over it. But I know I won't starve because I'm getting my motorcycle next, or I already have my motorcycle. I'm getting the battery next month. Did you know that you can get free shipping on Cabela's 49 ship all capitals? Oh, it's not working anymore. It looks like I lost my free shipping. Um, Kodiak Defense, that's irrelevant. I don't have my PAL, whatever yet, because that's the current law. Let's see, free shipping, $149 minimum. All right, spring fish. Okay, that's how I get. They changed it. It's now spring fish. But anyways, I'm not going to enter it right now because I'm not buying it. But I don't even have enough money for this SIG, and this is just for the gun. I want the reflex sight and the beam and the flashlight and everything like that, or whatever. Just my disability, I need this. Not even talking about enterprising. All right. But what is that? Oh, so yeah, like right now I might have $200. So I have to come up with another 19 plus the shipping. You know what I mean? It's a big purchase, just like any purchase back in the day. All right. You might have had some of my multimillionaire friends come in and buy some stuff. I just suffered a huge loss. I went through a big court case or whatever. Some guy tried to rob me. I had to pepper spray him. It cost me like $3,000 or whatever. But now it's all done and over with. You know, I went to karate when I was a kid. And shout out to Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, I seen how Kyle got famous over that self defense and everything and whatnot. And my case never even got shed to light. And I just got fully taken advantage of. But ever since Kyle Rittenhouse, they've started to understand me a little bit more because mine wasn't even near Kyle Rittenhouse. I had to use pepper spray. But that's neither here nor there. I had to go to court just like Mr. Rittenhouse. They locked me up just like, well, actually worse than Rittenhouse. I was locked up for a whole month before I finally got bail. Yeah, I didn't have as nice overcoat, but I wore something similar than this or whatever, but without the tie. Without the tie, I didn't wear a tie. They should have took their pictures and their video or whatever. That's their thing. Other than that or whatever, I don't know. But my defenses have came up a lot better. They're like, what happened was unacceptable or whatever. He's like a little bit older than Kyle or whatever. It's like you try to do it to Kyle, but then they try to do it. They try to do it. It makes Kyle look bad if I get in trouble because it's like hard to explain. But Kyle was innocent and so was I. And you know what I mean? I'm not going to go into it any further. With that, I didn't even have a firearm. I had to disarm the man for his firearm or whatever. So it's a little bit different, but we look very similar. Me and Kyle look very similar in certain pictures. But shout out to active self protection or whatever. He was the one that taught me. He saved my life that day. Active self protection. All right, he saved my life that day. I used to watch these videos. I don't watch them anymore. But when I was a kid, I used to watch the videos to learn about being active in oneself if you need to protect oneself or to the possibility maybe even others. Okay, so John Correa is one of my teachers, but like I said, you don't want to overwatch these videos either because it can generate a lot of anger, a lot of fake delusional thoughts, a lot of stupidity that you want to. But I learned a lot from it or whatever, certain techniques, and then I moved on. But I'm still a subscriber. And a lot of people are. They like to every once in a while check out their active self protection. But I don't know. If you're young or whatever, or you've never learned how to defend yourself, it's a great channel to get into. I really wish we would have had that video footage of the one where I was choked. And but you know how Canada does it, okay? I just want to mind you guys that Canada, they try to hide everything. There's a certain mafia in Canada. It's that connect. It's that. It's not nothing to do with me. I'm trying to change it. There's this Canadian mafia from back in the day. They're super anti-American. Okay, they hate America. Okay, they really have firearms. They're really the bad mob. There's a lot in Quebec, but they even dwindle down to Ontario. I know. But they're not that heavy. They've been getting busted or whatever. They've been getting busted. Because I'm getting my Sig Sawyer and it's going to be in a holster. But other than that, yeah. We need the well, like they've already done it, but let's make it official. We need American intervention. They had an intervention in Libya, and we need one in Canada. And I've called for that intervention for years. That we need an American intervention in Canada, all the way around, from the east to west. That's what they call it, from east to west, right? East to west Canada, west to east Canada. Somewhere where actually I'm majority family. I have family from all the way from east to west Canada, and when it comes to the law, we do need some sort of American intervention. They come up whenever there is a need for intervention. It isn't very far. But then if they go too far, then somebody else intervenes or whatever. So I see how that works. That's why we got that NATO system. I like that NATO system. All right. For a minute, we need America, and then America say, don't use us or whatever, but we're not using them. But it all ends up working out in the end. I mean, they come up, they intervene, they help that out, and then if anything gets out of hand, there's another intervention, et cetera, et cetera. It's a coordinated effort. I like how they did it. But it comes down to a vote system. It's like, do you really care about this country? Or it's like, is it worth the heartache? Is it worth the headache? So that's one thing you have to watch is how much of a heartache or a headache that you make of something. That's why I've been relatively just sort of quiet on my ODSP. I'm on disability or whatever. I qualified for it or whatever. I already qualified for it. It's like, so I got it. And I needed it for years, I'll tell you. Years. What about equality when it comes to disability? Disability discrimination. That one happens to me a lot because I'm not in a wheelchair. I face discrimination a lot, and I will contact a lawyer eventually over that if it continues to happen. Because I, once again, am going to have to go into disability awareness that there's all different styles, all different types of disabilities. I may be a mix of this one and this one, all right? And a little bit of this one, and a little bit of that one, and a little bit of that, all right? And a little bit of another one that's not even there. But it's not just kids with disabilities, you got all different kinds. You got visual, hearing, learning, autism, physical, emotional, cognitive. It's like I just want to meet my own caretakers. It's like I have other people's caretakers attacking me. I want my own caretaker. All right. Like, and I'm willing to pay for it or eventually. All right. But it will not be those same ones that are caretakers for other ones. Period. Because the way they treated me, the way it makes me feel in my stomach, it's like, no, I want my own caretaker, completely unique to me. I do not want somebody else's caretaker. And I'm sure my mom, and actually, I'm probably going to be my mom's caretaker. That's what the dream was with me and my mom, that I was to be her caretaker. Right? I don't remember what the book's name was. Because it's very important, Mom. Well, unfortunately, I came out of your womb. Did you know that? You didn't know that I came out of your womb? Because there's certain legalities that come with that. Obligations imposed by law. There's a reason why we have legalities. All right, I've already said what I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. But yeah, I research law a bit. I'm no lawyer though. But there are certain legalities that parents have, especially when you have that child or whatever. Even after they're 18. It's not just an 18 years old thing, guys, all right? Like everybody ran with that 18-year-old thing. Like once your kid becomes 18, you could just actually I got abandoned when I was 50. But no, I would highly recommend not abandoning your kids at 15 or 18 or anything like that, like what happened to me. First of all, the government probably ain't going to help you out. I never received any compensation or any child support from my father. I basically say I don't want to charge my father because I don't want to lose his house or whatever because I know that I could be entitled to that. Could be entitled to that in the future under the law of kinship. But yeah, my dad never paid child support or whatever. I had a pretty hard life. And there's nothing you can do about it. Except, well, I'm doing this video right now. That's going to make me a little bit of money, but it ain't going to make me too much. It ain't going to make me too much. But enjoy your time while you have it. Time is very precious. And try to do everything that you want to do in that specific time. It's precious. It's a different thing than valuable. Valuable is something that you sell. It's like something's valuable, like you don't care if you sell it or not. It's like, well, you do care if you sell it or not. It's very valuable. But that's the intention. It's like you might sell it, you might not. Precious is a little bit different. Precious is like, I don't want to sell it at all. I don't even think of the money, like kind of like my ring is. Like my ring, even though I bought it for a large, it's very valuable. But I don't consider it a value. I consider it a precious item because I don't want to ever sell it. Even for 5,000, I wouldn't sell it. No, I might sell it for 5,000 or whatever, but it's very precious to me. It's not really about the dollar. It's more about uh, how much I care for that specific item or whatever, and sort of like that. This was one of my more favorite movies, Precious. It reminded me of my own life. But it's gotten worse and worse, sort of, with it. When they frauded Precious and took Precious to jail. But they didn't do that to Precious, but that's what happened in my life. They frauded me and tried to take me to jail on some fraud crap. But they were the fraud craps. You know what I mean? It's weird. But I'm doing more than fine. I'm in asset recovery mode. And I grew up just like Precious almost, except white. And trust me, bro, we weren't those white people either. We weren't well, yeah, like we were white trash. Pure white trash. And they used to call us that. Supposedly it's down south, but there's white trash up here in Canada too. The white trash girls are like a whole different story. I remember this one, Cat and Dog. I haven't seen that one forever. But yeah, yeah, I'm white trash. Oh, I'm white trash all the way. I'll be white trash till the day that I die. But I work my hardest to not be white trash or whatever, but it's what I was born as. Let's see, poor white trash. I've even slept next to a garbage can on the concrete one night in Windsor. The White Trash Cafe. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I remember when it was only a dream to try Starbucks. And then I tried it. And believe it or not, now I've had so much Starbucks, I have no desire to ever have it again. My Auntie Carolyn's white trash too. And she came from Erin, and she always wanted Starbucks, always wanted her Starbucks. That was her big dream. So I see what her role is, you know? It was like she came from little old Erin to Brampton, okay? And she has her Starbucks every month. At the beginning of the month, she goes Starbucks. She has her gold card. That's my Auntie Carolyn. I love her to death. You know what I mean? Like, I know she says stuff about me, but I don't got nothing really bad to say about her. But we were gosh darn white trash altogether. And my Auntie Carolyn has, when my Auntie Carolyn buys these things, and I'm starting to get into it, but I have enough cups. I have enough cups. But my auntie, she's a woman. She loves her cups. And she's getting older, right? So she's enjoying every day for what it is, you know, the sparkle of the cup, you know? Like she sits there and her eyes glisten at the cup. All right. And they're expensive dang cups. And I wish Auntie would stop buying these cups. She has enough of them. She's got enough of them. Because I'm telling you, they're very, very expensive cups. You broke my hard drives. Auntie broke my hard drives. And it wasn't very smart, Auntie, to break my gosh darn hard drive. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They try to take advantage of me, but I'm working with a lot of people. So then I have to tell my employer. My employer is wondering, like, hey, what about those files we worked on years ago? Oh, one of my family members got jealous and broke it. Now that employer wants to like kill them. No, like dead serious. Yeah, like dead serious. Yeah, dead serious, bud. One thing you can't do is run to the moon. Yeah, they got people, they got some robots on Mars, but you can't run to Mars. One thing I learned is there's only so many countries and there's only so many states and there's only so many jurisdictions. There's only so much. And the law is if you fleet Iraq, you're considered a terrorist and you will be exploded. Yeah, that's the law. If you fleet Iraq, you die. Now, that's not the opposite. We have refugees, but if you're from America or Canada or whatever, and you flee to go be like one of those um converted terrorists, converted Islam terrorists, it won't work out for you. I'm telling you, it won't work out for you. You get put on the FBI's most wanted list, everything like that. Okay? And the FBI's most wanted list isn't a racist list. I mean, look, Robert William Fisher. I've heard that guy's name before. What did he do? I think it's something to do with a bomb or something, wasn't it? Robert William Fisher. He's nobody to be proud of, but he's out there, right? He's most wanted. Me, I don't know if he's alive, but they want these people dead or alive. All right. Look at this one: kidnaps and missing persons. And doing these crimes is not smart. I'll tell you, every single person I've known that's ever done one of these crimes or said they have, they're on their way. They're on their way. Look, anyways, these are missing persons. These are, oh, okay, she got kidnapped. They recovered these two women. Recovered. Is that a good or a bad thing? Right, she's being recovered. Okay. She was born in 1990. She's 3 years younger than me. She was considered to be a vulnerable adult due to her medical conditions. She had autism and does or whatever, and epilepsy. I think I've seen her before, maybe quite possibly. Yeah, I'm than her, but no, she's older than me by 3 years. Born in 1990, I was 93. Her family has ties in Idaho, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Washington State. She's a vulnerable adult. I'm also a vulnerable adult. Even with that Sig Sawyer I want to buy, I'm still a vulnerable adult because I just don't have the family and all that, and I'm disabled when it comes to my body and all that. And I have a few disabilities, but it's more, yeah, I'm a vulnerable adult. That's a good term. I should write that one down. I feel vulnerable almost every day in comparison to other ones. She is currently being deprived of her required daily medications, a deprivation that reportedly may lead to grave harm or death. In early November of 2021, she was transported by an elderly family member from Battleground, Washington, probably for one of those field trip things, to an unknown location. After it was learned other family members were petitioning the court to gain custody of her. You got to watch for that stuff. Family members trying to petition the courts against your own favor, and you have nothing. You have no. You don't even know about it. Family members initiated the court process after they began to believe that the individual caring for Marisol was unable and unwilling to appropriately care for her. The court agreed with the petition and subsequently appointed a new legal guardian for Marisol. But I can clean on my own or whatever, relatively. The Clark County Superior Court also issued a Clark County vulnerable adult protection order against the individual who may have taken Marisol from her family and continues to obscure Marisol's location. Marisol. But it says she's been recovered. She's here. Or something like that. I wish they would explain what recovered means. Probably have to research that. Hopefully it's not recovered remains. Recovered FBI. Okay, she was safely recovered 2 days ago. Okay, so this is modern, April 16, 2022. And the information was provided by the Seattle field office of the FBI. And I always talk about the Chicago field office, but it's nice to see the Seattle field office. The FBI received a tip that allowed law enforcement to bring Cortez home. According to the news release, the agency credited its missing person poster and media coverage. That's cool. All right, that was a big thing. Christopher Wray announces actions to disrupt and prosecute Russian criminal activity. I mean, there is Russian criminal activity and it's spilled over to Canada. I could name one person that's Russian criminal activity, and he's in Toronto. Right over here. I'll tell you the exact location because it's that serious. Maxwell Magan. That's where he lives. He's a long haired Russian guy. And he's an illegal immigrant, maybe even legal, but he's a really bad Russian criminal. It's not any of these ones, but he's really bad. And this is where he resides, everyone, the Salvation Army. Right here, 135 Sherbourne Street. All you have to do is send an agent over there and ask for this guy named Russian. Okay, I've already been over there. They had me as an agent. Ask for a guy named Russian. You'll find him. He's a Russian gangster. He shoots people with 45 caliber. I witnessed it with my own eyes. Right here in Canada, 45 caliber murders. Why do you think I'm working on my Sig Sauer? He doesn't look like these guys. He has long hair. And he might cut it, they're saying. But you can tell he's a Russian guy because he has this face, but he has long hair. He's a Russian spy. He's a Russian gangster spy in Canada, in Toronto. He's national security risk for Canada. He's national security risk for the United States of America. He's not this young guy. We like our young soldiers. Everybody's like me. He's not this guy. He's like a certain guy. He's a Russian gangster spy. Yeah, the gangsters or whatever. Ah, I always felt like the gangsters were so cheesy. That's why I never wanted to be a gangster. I wanted to be like a secret agent or whatever because the gangsters were always so cheesy. I mean, look at them. What are you eating? All right. Easter dinner. What's the number one on this list that you want to capture, right? Do you want to capture mine? Okay, the number one thing I probably want to capture is murderers and terrorists. Those are the number one people that I want to capture because they ruin my business. Murderers and terrorists. I mean, those are really the people that I want to get rid of. The murderers and the gosh darn terrorists. They're hard to put away, boy. They are hard to put away. Because I'm dealing with a couple right now, and it's like one of the biggest cases of my entire life, it feels like. Spanish ones. We're dealing with a couple Spanish terrorists right now. No, no, no. You're talking Spanish ones.